Hi, this is Different Careers with Kate Nudd again. Right now, I am a licensed massage therapist and I have continuing education classes to get done. So I'm reviewing different classes along the way. So I ended up having to switch to 1 hour classes because it seemed more reasonable to do for timing. So for the remainder of the stuff, I'll probably just do 1 CE hours. So, let's get into this. If you're interested, need a continuing education class, let's go what it goes. Okay, so this class is taught by Allison Dene or whatever. And it's, I don't know what that D word is, but Demestify. I don't know. The sidelying position, Allison Dene demonstrates positioning, draping techniques and perspectives for how to work the shoulder with your client in this underutilized position. Techniques include pin and stretch, active engagement techniques for the supraspinatus, infraspinatus, teri minor, subscapularis muscles, and more. Break out for your comfort zone and learn sidling techniques for the shoulder that you can incorporate into the next session. This course was featured during the 2023 APMP CE Summit Sidelining. So they were showing that there is a visual event Tuesday, April 30, 2024 that you could do. And course outline, client positioning, draping, supraspinatus, medial border of the scapula, infraspinatus, inferior angle of the scapula, teres minor, subscapularis, active engagement techniques, teres minor and subscapularis. And I really, from my understanding, like what I saw, this is what she went over. So I'm going to show like a clip of the video. But before we do that, we are going to define cleavage in the Merriam-Webster dictionary. So hold on a second. Oh, geez, it's so hard to hold the camera and do this at the same time. But let's see if I can do it. Okay. Cleavage. A splitting apart, split the depression between a woman's breasts, especially when exposed by a low-cut dress. So why am I going over this? Because in the video, to me, I saw a little bit of this. And to me, from what I understand from New York State laws, like we shouldn't see any cleavage or someone's butt crack during a massage. This is inappropriate. So New York State has a draping law. You're not supposed to see any portion of the breast. You're not supposed to see any portion of the whole butt. You're not supposed to see the butt crack. So I'm going to demonstrate through this video. This is also one of the reasons why I gave up doing prenatal massage, because I became super uncomfortable seeing a tiny little bit of cleavage and sideline draping. So that is why I gave up doing prenatal massage, because I want to be completely appropriate and a safe licensed massage therapist where you're doing 100% proper draping. So here we go. And I'm going to go to the big screen. Of course.
Watch them in succession. Either one is good. But for the most part, and change is actually happening.
Okay,
I'm not reaching over and breaking enough space around her. And okay. Riley, go ahead and bring your arm down onto your side. Good.
See, do you see that improper cleavage a little bit?
She wants to, so I'm just going to give her a little bit of a nudge. That
see?
Right there if you need it, okay? Perfect. So from right here, I'm going to give her one more bolster, and I'm also going to help her head out a little bit. But from here, you can see that as I undrape her back and her as I work on the shoulder, but it's just easier to move around. And I do want to talk about the fact that the shoulder is connected to the back. So I want to make sure there's a...
Let's
keep this arm, Riley, and
see, there's a little bit of cleavage.
However you want to adjust yourself. And a lot of clients will be like, I want it here, and you just let them do it.
So that's the only part I wanted to show you. Like, I'm not okay with even that tiny little bit of cleavage. Maybe society as a whole is completely fine with that. But I guess when I was studying New York State draping laws in school, it didn't define that a little bit of cleavage, was okay when you're massaging somebody. Okay. So if New York is okay with a little bit of cleavage showing or whatever, then they need to change the law. But there is a New York draping law. So overall, she did go over different techniques. There was only 5 questions on the quiz this time around. And so I took notes, and I did not feel prepared for the quiz even by taking notes, because the stuff that seemed important to me, like apparently it wasn't important to ABMP, because for me personally, I went to Onondaga School of Therapeutic Massage in Rochester, New York. That is where I got my massage therapy, 1,000 hours. To be able to pass New York State boards. Okay, a chiropractor taught my myology class. He did not think, for some reason, it was important for us to do each action of each muscle, so we would learn the actions of all the different muscle groups. So in this video, she goes over like external rotation and internal rotation, and adjusting the arm and stuff like that in a sideline position. And she went over my head because my background is my teacher that's a chiropractor that like focused more on the science stuff than the massage related stuff for myology class. He focused on, you need to know each nerve and all the bone attachments to a T and the names of each muscles. But as a massage therapist, you're dealing with people on a more regular basis, and it should be more important to thoroughly learn like where the muscles are. It's not the end of the world if you can't pronounce a muscle name correctly, but you need to know where the muscles are, know that a nerve attaches, know like the bones for the most part. But to me, it would be better. You become a better, more effective massage therapist if you actually know what each muscle group does for you, the action, because if you do the opposing muscle group, you stretch the muscle. So, and then they have all these like scientific names, or like Abduction, Adduction, or whatever, and I'm just like, well, I don't know which each one is clearly because it didn't get reinforced in my brain. So this is not anything against Allison. It's just I never learned it properly. So like when she was discussing this in her 1-hour continuing education course, it went over my head. I'm talking about abduction and blah 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 and what muscles do what, because it never got in my brain to begin with. So that isn't against her for the class. So I thought it would be helpful, like if she were to critique this class, maybe have a written thing, kind of like do a pre-thing of like, we're gonna like go over like the actions of these muscles before I do a demonstration or something. That might be helpful. For me personally, okay, I started this at like 10:36 p.m. and finished at 12:14 a.m. That includes like taking the quiz at the end. So it took over 1 hour and 30 minutes to complete this. So I feel like it was more worth my time, but I still feel like I should have got 1.5 hours of continuing education credits for this class, because that's how long it took me to do notes and pause the video and try to understand things. So she went over this concept of neuromuscular therapy, which is you're applying like massage and the nerves, and you're trying to have that like nerve massage connection. And I thought there should have been a question on that in the quiz, and there wasn't. So I was like, well, why'd you bring it up in the video? Why did you make it bold? Like, if that was in, like, I think she brought it up. Yeah, I think, yeah, it was in bold. And so, but like, there was no question on neuromuscular therapy at the end. So I was just like, well, why'd you bring it up? Why did you make it in bold? To me, the things that should be in bold should be the things that are in the quiz. So she went over how to properly drape. And again, for me personally, I just do not feel comfortable doing sideline positioning anymore. If other massage therapists feel 100% comfortable doing this on women, cool. I do not. I'd probably only feel comfortable on men for the shoulders. But to me, with some of the techniques she was showing, I felt like she was fighting against gravity. So if you're trying to do more like stretching and like massage work through a shirt, I would feel comfortable. She did say you could do these techniques with someone having a shirt on. So if I did apply any of these techniques in the future, like I would want to practice on someone having a shirt on the table, because that's how I would personally feel comfortable doing it for women and men, because you're doing a lot of shoulder rotation. And it did seem like it was more gentle work. So I did like that she did put that disclaimer in the video, but I was not quizzed on that. So again, so one of the things she went over I thought was intriguing. It was in bold. And she helped me understand why sometimes when I like to work on subscapularis a lot at the spa I work on, especially if people get deep tissue. She made me realize like teres major, teres minor, subscapularis, they are sensitive, what's it called? Yeah, like they are sensitive muscles that normally don't get worked. So when you work them on people, like it could cause discomfort and stuff like that. So you have to learn how to position your fingers in a way that's going to make it more comfortable and stuff like that. And so she was using the yin and the yang, and she's like, yin is for like the softer protective muscles that don't get worked very often, could cause discomfort. And that was like teres major, minor, subscapularis. And then the yang muscles, it means they're protective muscles. So they're gonna protect, I guess, the softer muscles and they're easier to get access to, and you can go at them easier and like thoroughly work out knots and trigger points and stuff like that. And she was saying like infraspinatus and supraspinatus, infraspinatus and supraspinatus were like yang muscles. So I thought there would be a quiz on that, like those questions would be in the quiz, and they weren't in there at all. And I was just like, why are you bolding stuff if it's not important? Like, I don't understand where they're getting their quiz questions. ABMP is ABMP the one that does the quiz questions? Does the person in charge of the class do the questions? I'm confused, because if the questions aren't relevant, like, to the actual slide of like taking notes, this stuff is important, like, why are you going over it? Like, I don't know. So, like, how would I rate this video? I feel like I was like kind of confused how to rate it, because I felt like I really couldn't apply the stuff to where I work at all. And I felt like to even be able to use any of the techniques, I would need to watch this video and then practice on someone. And like, for me to practice on someone, I want to do a video to be like, hey, I'm trying to apply these like techniques that I'm learning. And because I think to thoroughly give an assessment of would I really actually use any of these techniques in my practice, you have to watch the video while you're working on someone and be like, oh, this is the technique I learned, blah, 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 blah. Here, let me practice on somebody. But a lot of times when it comes to family members, like if I gave them a free massage, like a lot of times people balk at being in a video even though they're getting a free massage. So it's like I feel sometimes stuck when it comes to learning more massage techniques because people aren't even willing to be on a video. So, like, I guess that's why it's hard for me to fully assess this class, because it's like I don't normally work in a sideline position, but if I did it in a video, I would have to make it so the person was wearing clothes. That's how I would do it. So, feel free to comment in the section if you want me to at some point try to do a video where I'm like watching the or like, well, I would probably, what I would do is I would do a thing where it's like I learn the techniques first and then and practice on someone, and then have them be in a video and be like, this is the technique, blah 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 blah. This is what I feel like I can apply. This is what I feel like I can apply to the sideline position. But if you would like to see that kind of video, feel free to comment in the comment section. Maybe if I get like maybe at least 5 people, I'll go back, rewatch the video, and learn the techniques and practice on someone and find someone to be a demo person for me who wants a free massage, because I am in the Rochester, New York area. So, yes. So, how would I rate this? So I felt like the time was better. I feel like overall, I feel like I would give the class a D, because you still went over an hour with taking notes. I did pass the quiz the first time around, but I did not get my test results, so I don't know exactly how I passed the test, or the quiz. What else? I give it a D because to me there was like cleavage in the video, and like New York State has like a high standard of draping. So to me, that wouldn't be okay. In New York State, I would not fly. You could probably lose your license over it. I don't know, if especially if people made a stink about it and complained. So like I would give it a D. And I'm sorry, but my assessment is until you actually do some of the stuff hands-on, like you can't really know if you would use these techniques or not. But a lot of the stuff I saw in the video was fighting against gravity, and to me, I have noticed as a licensed massage therapist, for me, the techniques that I would apply personally as a licensed massage therapist would be things where you're not fighting against gravity, because I have found when I fight against gravity, I lose a lot of energy. It's very draining to me energy wise. What else? And it makes me feel uncomfortable sometimes. It makes it so my fingers hurt or my thumbs hurt because I'm fighting against gravity. So I believe when it comes to doing massage techniques, you want to go with gravity. Like use gravity as part of your leverage. So yes, overall I would say this is like in the D range. So I give this continuing education class a D. So, and here is my certification. Yes, I got certified. 1 hour CE hours. But to me, it should have been at least 1 hour and a half. So 1.5 continuing education credits. Anyways, overall, it was probably worth my time. I feel like it was more worth my time, so that's why I also gave it a D. So because it didn't take 6 hours or 3 hours to do a 1 hour continuing education class. So hope you like this video. Feel free to like and subscribe, and if you have any questions, feel free to put them in the comment section, or if you like doing the sideline position, feel free to put that in the comment section. Also, if you know a safer way of draping like the breast area on women better in a sideline position, so there is zero cleavage, and there's like a video on YouTube or something, feel free to put that in the comment section because I'd be happy to look at that at some point. Until next time.